Hey everybody, this is Shanita. Thank you so much for stopping by. I appreciate you being here. If you're new, you stopped on a good day. Today we're going to be talking Soultanicals. It's been a long time since I've talked about them. I'm excited. So I'm going to take my Mr. bottle. This is the hair tea from Nourished Hair Care. And I am going to use my ACV clarifying hair scalp poo. I will put the name of this in the description box. I'm going to co-wash my hair with Curl Play. Have you heard of that? This was in their limited edition anniversary box. I will be cleansing my hair with that and deep conditioning with Afrotastic Curl Elastic, a very popular conditioner from them. And then I'm going to apply my Moroccan Silk Moisture Milk as a leave-in. I've never used this before. It's so creamy. I'm so excited about this one. And finally, I'm going to use two stylers today, the Total Recoil and the Twist Assist. I couldn't decide between them, and so I decided I'm going to split my hair down the middle and use both today. And finally, I'm going to seal everything in with the Platinum Roots hair and scalp oil. And then I am going to use this moisture sealant actually as my scalp oil. I used it differently. It says it's a sealant, but it worked out. It's been a few days since I have done anything to my hair, so I am starting at the very beginning here, which is something you rarely ever see me do. My hair's so super dry. Is that how your hair gets after it's old? The roots are all fluffy and thick and kinky, and the ends still have a little definition left. I try so hard to really be careful with my hair. Someone commented about that in my last video. You really do use your fingers so cautiously and so careful with your hair. And I answered to her, and I'm going to reiterate. I think that is the absolute best breakage tip I can give you. I'm splitting my hair down the middle. No, it's not quite down the middle. Good enough. I'm just barely separating gently with my fingers. As you notice, I dampened my hair before I went in to try to do any finger detangling. When you get to a knot, my little tip about using a little oil to separate that knot instead of yanking it or pulling it apart. I can barely find it now, you guys. I don't know where it went. I'm going to continue to section my hair off. I normally do this process off camera, but I thought I'd show you this part today. Any place where you get to where there's a tangle, gently pull it apart. If you have to mist it with more water, do that. If you're at a knot, get some oil and gently work it loose. One break or one split on a strand can travel up, and I call it get contagious. You'll have a bunch of split ends that need trimming, and we try to prevent that. So I'm going to do the same thing on the other side. Use a little damp water to separate it. Not using any tools at this point, just taking my fingers to separate. Section it off so that I can prepare to shampoo. I didn't even pre-poo this time, which is really odd for me. It seems like I'm saying that a lot, but I really do pre-poo more than I do not. It is really an excellent way, another way to try to keep the moisture in your hair and to retain some length because you're keeping your hair moisturized the entire wash process. So all sectioned off, I'm gonna go and start cleaning this hair. Look at my hair, it's so fluffy and soft. Oh my gosh, it feels so amazing. So I am actually going to deep condition now, and I am going to use the Fro Despair Vitamin Hair Repair. I believe earlier I said I was going to use the Afrotastic, and I didn't. I actually picked up the Pro Vitamin one by mistake, so that's what I ended up using. This one is brand new. You can see it is sort of a beigey, creamy color. Not completely white, more of a soft tan, like an ivory color. but it is just as creamy as the rest of them. And I put my hair back into sections. I actually take it down one at a time to shampoo and condition, and then put it back into the sections. And I'm applying this deep conditioner, you can see how it is making an instant difference in my hair. Good sign of happy hair once it starts to curl upon touch. Like the second I start putting anything in it, it starts to curl. This is the consistency of it. See how soft and creamy it looks? That is just how soft and smooth it feels. And I'm really not having to use a lot. I am, simply because that's just what I do. And I'm really trying to get through conditioners. But I didn't have to use as much as I did. Little this goes a long way. It smooths on so easily. You can tell exactly where it is and which parts you've kind of not put as much conditioner on. It's like that instant silky feeling. So it's easy to go back and find places that didn't have it and reapply. I am currently in the mode of trying to really get through some deep conditioners so that they don't go bad. So that is why you're going to see me use so much. So the intense moisture sealant that I said I was going to use on my scalp, I did not. I actually went ahead and used it to seal. Look at these ingredients, you guys. Silky, moisturizing heaven. So it is I'm just going to use just a little bit and apply on top of my deep conditioners like I've been doing. You know it smells amazing. That one has been out a long time. But I just apply this right on top, sort of a nice seal, and then again put it back up into my sections. And this is usually how I go and sit up under the dryer with those little knots under it. And I do that just so that all my hair can get the heat. Sometimes when I leave it down or put it in other ways, some of the hair gets some of the heat and some doesn't. I just find pitting it up gives it an opportunity to experience some of that heat, full coverage, as opposed to kind of just the roots or the mid shaft. You want the entire strand covered. Back into my little sections, I place on my conditioning cap and go and sit up under my soft bunnet heated dryer. I'm going for about 20 minutes. We'll see how it works out. You guys, my hair feels incredible. So I'm applying the moisture milk as a leave-in. As I said, I'm really excited to use this. My gosh, this stuff feels so good. And it smells amazing as well. I am sitting here reading these ingredients, you guys, and they sound delicious. Amazing. Sounds so good. But I'm not going to even bother to tell you about it because it's not on the site anymore. It really was a limited edition item. And I'm back working in sections as I do my entire wash day, of which I highly suggest if you have hair long enough or thick enough that can get into sections. It is just so much more manageable, and make sure your entire hair gets covered by product. As I said, look how creamy this is. Look at that. Oh, feels very lotiony. Smooth and soft. That's exactly what it feels like. A great moisturizing lotion. And naturally, the smell is absolutely, like, you just want to eat it. You just want to eat it. I feel like all her fragrances are so exotic smelling, like she got them from somewhere else, like not even here in this country. I don't know where she's getting that, but it smells so good. And this one did linger a bit, which is actually good because it smells so fresh and clean. And continuing to work in the sections. I take down one at a time, apply the leave-in conditioner. I typically really apply this sort of like the deep conditioner. Um, I don't gently use this at all. I really go in with that leave-in. My hair is fairly still warm. It still has cuticles open, and I am trying to capture all of the conditioning inside that I can. All right, guys, time to style. So, again, I'm going to be using the Total Recoil. This is a Babasu Bantu Boomerang Butter with the Babasu oil, cocoa butter, and olive wax. This is a new product, so it may not be on the website either. But look at the ingredients here. Babasu oil is such a great oil, and it is first. That is a very rare thing to see. This is pumpkin seed oil, candelia wax, olive wax, castor oil, cocoa butter. And on the other side, I'm going to use the Twist Assist, the Supanatural, Fragilistic, Stress-Free Alafrocious Twisting Cream. This one is a staple, I believe, in their brand. I've used it before. I will put the website, the link below where I used this on my channel before. I did my whole head in this particular butter. Here are the ingredients here. The only butter in this one is cocoa butter. And it is, as you can see, like the third or fourth ingredient. So I was kind of surprised with this. The Total Recoil is going to be on your left side, and I'm going to use the Twist Assist on your right side, as so. Then I realized my Twist Assist, I've barely used. I think I used it once. Look how much is left. But look at this boomerang butter. It looks more like a balm or a pomade. It wasn't a cream like I thought at all. Both smell amazing. The Total Recall had a milder smell. The cream had more of a fragrance in it. They look totally different. And at this point, I decided I probably shouldn't do I thought about I probably shouldn't do this because there are two total different products, and I knew it was going to do something bizarre with my hair, but I chose to go ahead with it anyway. The things I do for you guys, I wanted to be able to show you the difference. So I'm just going to take a little bit of this balm, like a dime size amount. I started with that. You know, I added some more. I was just playing myself. And I'm rubbing it together. And because I put in so much milk as a leave-in, I feel good about adding this as a sealant without having to add an extra cream. And the platinum roots, I'm going to take a couple of drops of this, and I'm going to seal all of that goodness inside. I'm in moisture overload at this point, and so I want to make sure it stays in as long as possible. So I rub a layer of oil on top, starting from the bottom, and slowly detangle up. This not only helps to detangle, but it distributes all of that product to all the strands. And you want to get as close up to the scalp as possible when you're doing using that brush. And I'm going to split it into two parts, ideally you want those to be evenly. I think I eventually found out mine were not, but I'm going to coil the ends anyway, so I think it'll be fine. So I just twist. And at that point, I was looking like, okay, I don't see that shiny, I don't know, that residue that a good cream would give you. So I was having some second thoughts, but I'm going on with it. I'm adding more to the ends because I may have rubbed some off in twisting, and because I want to ensure that those ends are protected, I'm going to coil it around. And this is what we've got. So this is what you can expect from the entire half to look exactly like this. And for the sake of videoing so that you can see instantly both sides, because I don't think I show you this at the end, I'm gonna just kind of use my fingers to section off another little piece and show you the twisting of the twist assist. My hair dries out so super fast, you guys, so I try to keep this plastic bag on to maintain that dampness and keep that moisture in so that it doesn't evaporate out. This too reminded me, it's a little bit thicker than that Moroccan moisture milk. Has the same consistency, but this was just a tad thicker. And I'm doing this identical to the other side. Make sure all of the hairs are covered. Take a few drops of that platinum oil and rub a layer on top of that, trying to trap in as much oil as possible. And taking that brush, starting from the bottom, detangle up. Make sure all of that product gets distributed on every strand. Split into two, and I'm gonna twist this up. So that's it. You know the drill. I am going to twist this on up and go and just kind of let it air dry. It is getting warmer here, so I'm feeling good about doing that. I did end up using that moisture sealant in my scalp. So I will come back and I will let you guys see how this ended up looking. Stay tuned.
Hello, I am back and I have taken down all my twists. It is 3 days later and I probably would have let it stay up another day considering it's getting warmer here in Iowa, but my hair was starting to get puffy at the roots, and so I was scared that it was going to be dry, and I really wanted to be fair about this assessment. So hours ago I took it down, and so here I am having just fluffed it with my fingers a little bit, and I want to tell you about the differences and tell you my thoughts on the products. Now, probably all of you have heard of Soultanicals, even if you have not experienced any of that goodness. I did not bring down I used a, it's called an ACV, some apple cider vinegar product. So the cleanser that I used, like this entire wash day, was definitely a Soultanicals one. I used the ACV, you guys, I didn't bring it down, and I'm not going to remember the name. There's just me butchering it. If I find a picture, I will put it here, or at least put the name here so that you will know which product it is if it's still on the website. So I used that product, and then I also use the Intense Co-Wash, also, that I'll put here in the title of the video. It was the co-wash that went to their last anniversary box, and I used that after I used that ACV cleanser. And first of all, let me tell you, that ACV product, that stuff lathered on contact with that water. I had it there thinking that it was something that was just gonna mildly take the oil off the top of my hair strands. That's a standalone. That baby was nice. It lathered instantly, and per usual with Soultanicals, it was so moisturizing. I could finger detangle. It felt amazing. Just rinsing that alone, my hair felt clean but not stripped. It's a cleanser, so you can use that as just a shampoo and call it clean, because it will be. But because I went ahead and bought that co-wash into the shower and had not bought a rinse out conditioner in, I went ahead with the co-wash anyway, and I just kind of used it in my mind. I was doing a co-wash, so that's, I mean, a conditioning session, your rinse out conditioning. So that's kind of how I use that. I used it in, rubbed it in for just a few seconds, and then rinsed it back out, sort of like I would do a rinse out conditioner. And love that. Coming away from the shower with those two products, my hair felt amazing. It felt exactly like I wanted it to feel. Not knowing what I was going to get, I have not seen any reviews on those, so it was anybody's guess. Fortunately for me, and because Soultanicals is so dependable, it worked out beautifully. So I believe when I came on initially, I told you guys I was going to use the Afrotastic as my conditioning treat. And I really was intended to, but once I actually picked up the product that I actually used, I looked and it was the Fro Despair. So this is the one that I actually ended up using, and it took me a while to realize that I pulled the wrong one, but it's okay. I used this and I almost used it up. It has a very similar consistency as the Afrotastic, but it's not the Afrotastic, which is probably one of my favorite of that original, just those original products. And this was from a long time ago too. This is not a limited edition item. This one has been around for a long time as well. I like it not as well as the Afrotastic. I could tell a difference. Still moisturized, still a very good product. Still had plenty of slip, nice and soft. So this one says it's plant foods mega deep conditioners with biotin, folic acid, and mega greens. And so just from that, I kind of had a feeling it would be a little bit more of a strengthening deep conditioner, not protein strength level, but that it would be more than just the typical super duper hydrating, softening conditioner. And in addition to that, when I looked on the back, I knew for sure why I got the feeling that I got. It was just a little bit more strengthening and not super duper soft. There's a difference in the soft, hydrated, slippy conditioner, and then those that really condition your hair, but there's some ingredients in it that just gives it a little bit more of a strengthening property. If I had done them side by side, I'm for sure the Afrotastic would have been just a little softer than this Fro Despair. I like this. I continue to buy it, so clearly I do. But I hope that was clear. And so then I used the Moroccan Silk Moisture Milk as my leave-in, and I really went in with this one, you guys. It is probably right here now. Because I was using butters on top, I knew, like I always say, that your deep penetrating moisture is going to come from this product. I'd never used this one before, but it features argan oil, shea butter, and rice milk. And it also has in it aloe juice, avocado oil, rice bran oil, shea butter, cocoa butter, castor oil, bihydramonium methyl sulfate, cetyl alcohol, argan oil, glycerin, B5, has honey, it has guar silk. So super intensively hydrating, and that's exactly what I got from this. It is sort of a medium consistency, not thin at all, but not so super duper thick. So after a few shakes, as you can see, I can get it to move in there. This is good, as was that deep conditioner for any hair type whatsoever. I think, you know what it reminded me of a little bit? It kind of reminded me of Camille Rose's Moisture Milk. That's what this reminded me of. I guess it being called milk, and you can tell there's that silk in it because it just makes your hair so smooth, but your hair just drinks up the ingredients. Just magnificent. And as always, y'all, everything I smelled just divine. It just smelled like heaven. There's just no way I would even try to embarrass myself by trying to describe what this smells like. It was just wonderful. So this one says it is a smooth, creamy, and naturally quenching, silky botanical leave-in, which is coil friendly and totally rich, enhanced with rice milk, creamed honey, and strand softening argan oil, combined to create a conditioning and moisturizing experience, certain to keep your hair on cloud nine as you finger comb your way through. Super silky enhanced. Yes. And I used a good bit of this. Love this. Definitely going to put this into my regular rotations of leave-ins when I am using, say, a product that I don't know how it's going to turn out, maybe just a styler or new something. This is one of those hydrating ones that you can use in any situation with anything. It was wonderful. And if you would remember, this is kind of how the butters went. The twist assist this side and the total recoil on this side. So here's the twist assist. All right, creamy, buttery, smells wonderful, very, very smooth. I'm wondering if this too has some sort of silk in it because it feels like it. It doesn't. It does not, but it did make me feel, it was reminiscent of just kind of how that silk feels because it's so, so nice. It has condelia wax, and maybe that's what gave it that smooth feeling. But cocoa butter is the butter that is used in this one, and it is terrific. Every time I have used that one, okay, now I'm making a mess, hang on. Every time I have used that one, it's just been wonderful. Every single time. On the side where I used it, which is this side, my hair just feels more, and again, this is 3 days later. For every day that goes by, I just feel like my hair is just getting more and more dry, like it's going to evaporate the moisture. But having it twisted or braided up really helps to kind of seal that inside. But I did a lot of sweating. My roots were very puffy, and my hair was starting to look old and frizzy on the outside, which is why I decided today, I don't care what time it is, I'm going to take it down and show it because I really want you to be able to see it nice and fresh. But it is very bouncy and lightweight. Look at the definition. And you know my little secret that I told you I was going to start doing right in this area where I normally get a lot of frizz is to make the twists smaller, which I did do with that. And as you can see, that really, really worked. Like I can barely identify that section that normally never gets frizz. And the texture back here feels great. It's just very, very lightweight and it feels so soft. This is the kind of definition here that would last a long time. I'm 3 days in. I'm very, very happy. Now, when I opened this total recoil, I was extremely shocked. Like I got a little scared about this. So when I looked at it and realized it is more of a sealing product, I actually went back and added some more moisturizer on top of that leave-in. I added, oh, I don't know. I put it up. What did I use? Anybody do that? You got so many products, when somebody asks you what you use, you got to go through and try to remember, what did I use this week? Because you're constantly using something different. That's how I'm feeling right now. Y'all, I don't know. I really don't remember. If at any point between now and the time I get to edit this video, if I remember, I will stick it in the video somewhere. But I went back and added a little bit more moisturizer on top of there because then I was scared it wasn't going to be enough moisture to last for the couple of days. Just dealing with the leave-in and then straight on top with the butter, and this butter looks like a bomb. It feels like a bomb. It acts like a bomb. I was really, really surprised at this. I was really expecting a butter richer product. Like this is just like, you know, the oils that you would get in a pomade or a balm. So it's more of a sealing product. So if you get this, and if you have it and you have used it just exclusively on top of a leave-in, which some people will be able to do and do fine with it, but hair that is coarse and resistant, I'm gonna say put something else in between. And that's what I went with. I just felt like it just would not be enough to, it would probably be moisturized on day 1 and 2, but probably by the time I took it down, it would have been frizzy. So I used another moisture cream, something light. I do remember that. And then I just used this on top, sort of like a sealer. And I only used a little bit of another moisturizer just to put some sort of layer between the leave-in and the sealer. And this gives so much shine. I've been playing in my hair. It's been down a while. But both sides are nice and shiny. And this too, look at that definition here. Got a lot of definition. Same thing, making some smaller twists. I got a little bit more frizz on this side. But you know what it does? It gives it more volume too. Look at it. Like you can tell this just has a little bit more volume, whereas this is light, so much lightweight that it just lays straight down. And so it says, make it sound like if you have lip hair, then this gives you just a little bit more springy, and that's the way I feel. A little bit more springy, a little bit more volume, and just not as lightweight as this one. It has babasu oil, rice bran oil, olive wax, castor oil, cocoa butter, candelia wax, provitamin B5, argan oil, gorgum, pumpkin seed oil, vitamin E. That's why it is so freaking shiny and so, so nice. So, so curly. And I really, really like how it came out. I have got to now figure out what I'm going to do with my hair for the coming warmer weather. Like it just has no shape. I just feel like it's just blah. Now it's growing out, and so putting it in putting this part down the middle kind of gives it a feel like it's shaped. It's definitely not. Yes, and I did add this particular oil. Wait, let me figure out what I did now, because I've got two oils. Yeah, so I used this one on my hair. I used this one to seal in I remember saying I was going to use it on my scalp. I did not, because I just felt like it was going to be too much work to have to pour it out of this and then rub into my scalp. And I didn't feel like catching oil and not doing enough, not doing too much. So I decided to just go with this on top to seal everything all in, which first five are argan oil, grapeseed, jojoba, hemp seed oil, and maru butter. Use that, and then I just went with this as a sealer simply because it has this little applicator. Now that is a lazy logic if I ever heard one, because based on the ingredients it probably should have gone the other way, but that is what I did. This one specifically says moisture sealant on the top, and I still used it on my scalp, but it was fine. It worked out well. It has a caramel flavor, a fragrance, and so it smells good. The first five of this one is olive oil, andirobi oil. I'd never heard of that prior to this. Castor oil, avocado oil, and jojoba oil. So that is what that had in it. And I used my, I used when I refresh. During the week, I put that on my scalp. So never mind. I didn't do that on wash day. But that is what I used on wash day. So it was strictly Soultanicals wash day. And I am so, so glad to have done that. I think even the last time I did it, I didn't have a cleanser and a moisturizer. So y'all, everything was awesome. It was all awesome. I have not tried a Soultanicals product that I disliked. Never, ever has it failed me. You can tell that there's some that you just love more than others. For instance, the deep conditioner. I do like the Afrotastic better than the Fro Despair. I do remember that strictly from just using that this time and remembering the results I get from Afrotastic. But would I rebuy the Fro Despair? I was about to say yes, but I probably wouldn't. I probably would not, simply because, only because, not because I don't love it, but because once it starts getting warm, I usually try to stick with more products that do more hydrating and moisturizing and stay away from so many products that have those building blocks in it. Like that one had all the plants and the herbs and the greens and stuff in it. And I just really tend to start staying away from more strengthening type ingredients. I've started being very cautious of that. I don't use so many Ayurvedic herbs. I don't use protein deep conditioners unless I really see a significant need to do so. So for that reason, and because I have so many deep conditioners, I wouldn't rebuy that now. But if I were going to make a Soultanicals purchase and that one was on sale, do I like it enough to rebuy it just on a random shopping spree, say if I lose my mind? Absolutely. Absolutely, I would. It is very, very good. And for those of you who have it, then you probably have already been able to tell the difference and you already know that it's good. But in my opinion, because I like moisture more than the strengthening ingredients so much, I would go with the Afrotastic. But I want to know about you. What's your favorite Soultanical product? I know everybody can answer this one because probably all of you have it, and I would love to know if you do not and have not tried a Soultanicals product yet. I would love to know how many people out of the hundreds that will watch this video, let me know if you have never tried a Soultanicals product before, and then I'm going to send you a personal message because we've got to talk. We've got to talk. You've got to get you some Soultanicals. There's nothing else like it. All the products that have come through here, there's something I have loved in absolutely every single video. Soultanicals still has its own little place. It's its own entity, and they make products like no one else. Everyone who tries it loves it. Hands down. I've never heard anyone who did not like most of the products. So there is that. I want you guys to let me know what is your favorite product. Do like this video as usual. If you've never been here before, of course you need to subscribe so that you can see what brand is going to be coming up next week. I would love to have you around so that you can learn a little bit more about some of the ingredients that are in these products and how they perform, what I think about them, how they work in my hair type, so that you will know what may or may not, would be best for yours. So hopefully something here was gained to help you in your natural hair journey. I will see you guys in the next video. I cannot wait to read your comments, and I will see you next time, okay? Bye.